Don't know who, but someone needs to hear this right now. I am also you. I am also that someone. But if you are working towards becoming the version of you that you dream of, whether it's being financially abundant and independent or having your dreams come true, regardless of what it is, finances, relationship, career, life, dreams, whatever, anything. When that part of you that's afraid of the worst possible outcome comes up, I want you to put your hand on your heart or your stomach or whatever part of you feels the most fear and say, I hear you. I know you're afraid. I know that this is your worst fear. I know that thinking about this or doing things differently than we've done before is so scary to you. I know that you have never known life the way that we want it to be, but we are learning together, we are exploring together, and I will hold you and I will sit here with you and I will hear your fear for as long as you need to tremble. I will hold you while you shake for as long as you need to shake. Part of entering into your new life, your new world, means giving space for the same fear that held you back from receiving your dreams, your wildest dreams, making space for that and truly unconditionally loving and accepting yourself for who you are and for feeling the fear that you feel. It has to go somewhere. It can't be ignored. It can't be pushed away. It can't be thought away. Sometimes the way forward, sometimes the way towards your financial goals, your dream life, whatever it is through the fire, through the pain. You need to detach from the outcome temporarily and allow this fear to kind of take over. And when I say take over, I mean simply be present with it. And if it's the only thing that you have the capacity to pay attention to, then that's just the reality, and that's okay. Because emotions pass. They're like clouds. This is not forever. Even though maybe it feels familiar, maybe it feels like the same stump that's been stumping you for your whole life or for years or months or whatever. But I promise you that the more you stick to your path, the more you do what you know and has been affirmed to you time and time again that is the right thing for you specifically. There's no other you on the planet. The more that you do you, once you feel, aligned again, after the fear passes, after it doesn't feel so paralyzing, you're just going to get closer. And God's time is God's time. The universe's time is the universe's time. You can't control that. All you can control is the relationship that you have between the version of yourself now and the version of yourself that you want to become. And the more that you show up for the version of yourself that you want to become while holding compassionate space for the version of yourself from the past or even in the present that is not who you want to be, the closer you're going to get. I don't know what that bird was. It looked like a dove, but with like white banded wings. He flew right in front of my car. I've been having birds fly right in front of my car today, like all day, which is always a good omen for me. And I just got an I am affirmations notification that says I am stress and worry free. But yeah, I hope that this brings reassurance to whoever needs to hear it. And I know I needed to hear it because there are some times in life where, for example, I have financial goals. I want to make a certain amount of money on my own, and ultimately I just want to feel that security. I want to feel that ease, and I want to make money literally being myself, doing emotional thinking about this. There's some beautiful horses grazing on the side of the road in a field. I'm driving past. But yeah, like, sorry, I lost my train of thought there. But yeah, I can guarantee you that if you're an intuitive person, if you are a soul-led, a soul-driven person, if you feel somewhat connected to your purpose, your mission on Earth, or even if you don't fully feel that, even if you have a glimmer of something you desire, something you want, a way that you want to be, a vision for your future, for yourself, I promise you, as long as you continue taking action steps towards that on a daily basis, no matter how long it takes you, days, weeks, months, years, does not matter. As long as you keep going towards what your soul is calling out of you, it's a matter of inevitability. It's just a matter of time, because that version of you exists somewhere, and what you're doing and the reason why your deepest fears are coming up now and tricking your mind into thinking that you're not going to make $1 million doing what you want, which, by the way, is a freaking lie. Whoever says that is a liar, because you totally can make all the money that you want to make doing what God put you on this planet to do, which is what your soul is naturally good at. But 9-to-5 systems don't teach you that. They want workers to fulfill roles that they have already predetermined. They don't care about individuality. They don't care about your soul gifts. Not in most cases, at least. But when you are walking that distance between the version of you that's making the money that you want to make, that has the relationship you want to have, that works the job, or doesn't work the job but lives the lifestyle that you want to live, and this current version, there's like a gap between you and your dreams, or else you wouldn't have dreams, right? But we're designed to expand. We're designed to want more, and the fact that you want more is a sign that you're destined for more. And the fear that comes up between that version of you and the current version of you is simply old energy releasing. It's finding a place to go. It's old patterns, it's old thought patterns, old fears, old impressions that still live in your nervous system from a time where you weren't living inside of a structure that was supportive of your soul's calling. You weren't working a job that nurtured your soul's gifts, your talents, your natural rhythms, especially for my creatives, my free-spirited, hippie artist types of people who live better on their own rhythms than in any kind of corporate world. God did not put your gifts and your limitations and your natural tendencies inside of you for no reason. So I'm literally promising you right now, I'm guaranteeing you that if you are doing as much as you can, and this doesn't mean more than you have the capacity for, it means as much as you can, even if it's a breath a day. I'm not kidding you. That counts towards your future, towards your dreams. As long as you are doing that every day consistently, or even if you have a day where you don't have it in you to do anything, you just need to rest, that's part of getting towards where you're meant to be, because you were meant to rest that day. That was in your best interest that day. And that's what God wants. That's what the $1 million version of you wants and needs is balance and rest. And the multi-million-dollar version of you, it's that version of you wants good health. It wants freedom. It wants relaxation. It wants pleasure. It wants trust and faith. And so all I'm saying is that life is guaranteed. It already exists. the only difference between your future and your present is whether you act out in faith or not. Sometimes acting out in faith, again, like I said, means allowing yourself to do nothing and rest some days if you just don't have it in you to do, whatever. But it's like, I think that action that is aligned with the version of ourselves that we want to become is supposed to feel good. It's supposed to feel like who we want to be. And sometimes, if you don't know who you want to be, you need to take some time and space to connect with your spirit, to get away from the noise, the conditions of the outside world, your parents, your society, your school, your family, even your friends, or societal pressures, your job. Get away from the noise of external expectations and connect with this voice in your soul that's showing you who you are, what you want. And I will say from experience, when I'm going through moments in life where I am, healing from a trauma or in survival mode, it's not easily accessible all the time to feel how I want to feel or to dream of a future when all I know in the present moment is just pain and suffering. So the first order of business is to find peace and relief, even if it's just being present. Just find presence, because this too shall pass. Your shitty circumstances will pass. The pain, the abuse, the recovery, the trauma, it is going to pass. And as long as you are doing everything in good faith, as much as you can do in your power, and I'm praying for you too, for your release from the shackles that hold you, like, let it be, seriously. As long as you're in good faith, acting on your dreams, you're gonna get there. It's literally just a matter of time. So you can relax knowing that. And another thing I'll say is that if you have trouble relaxing, and maybe you're in this place where you don't know what to do to work towards your dreams, I want you to think of that thing that your intuition nudged you to do in order to move closer to your dreams, but you haven't actually done it yet. Maybe it's hosting that workshop. Maybe it's raising the price tag or lowering the price tag on your offering. There's a fly in my car with me. He just landed on my arm. I don't know if you saw. Oh, there he goes again. Maybe it's making a phone call. Maybe it's knocking on someone's door. Maybe it's going into a shop to ask them, hey, I have this product. I was wondering if you'd be open to carrying it. Whatever it is that your intuition nudged you silently, and whatever it is that you're thinking of right now while you're listening to me, do that thing and watch how your nervous system settles. Watch how you feel a sense of peace, a sense of feeling organized, a sense of feeling like everything is all taken care of and together once you take care of that thing. And I know for me, I can think of at least one thing that I haven't done yet that my intuition's been telling me to do for weeks. I wonder what's going to happen when I finally do that thing. But for some reason, I've been holding it off. And I think I'm going to probably do it tonight, now that I mention it, or tomorrow. Because I've been traveling and everything and whatever. But, do the thing and watch how you feel peace afterwards. Because those nudges, those visions, those thoughts that fill you with inspiration, that simultaneously maybe make you anxious, maybe they limit test your fears, maybe they ask you to do something that you're otherwise afraid to do. Like, for example, there's this girl on YouTube that I love watching. She makes videos, and she talks about how God called her to start to speak on YouTube, and she was not good at speaking before then, or good at making videos, and she said that she felt like she was on fire every time she sat down in front of the camera to make a video. I guess it made her nervous, and she just felt anxious doing it. But she heard the calling, and God/her intuition was telling her to do this thing. So God, she says God was telling her, so okay. And she did it, and now she's doing it, and she's got a big audience, and she's a beautiful speaker, and I love listening to her videos. She shares very spiritual, encouraging messages, messages that always feel like they land at the right time. But you know, I'm preaching these words, and honestly, part of it feels a little bit empty because there are some things that I know I need to do, but you know what? I'm just holding myself accountable out loud, and I'm going to do it. I'm going to make that thing tonight. I'm going to make the thing tonight, and I'm going to share about it. I'm just going to figure it out and do it. Yeah, I'm going to do it. So I just want to encourage you to do the same. Whatever that thing is, just do it. Put it out there. Let your fears burn. You know, call upon your support, internal and external. Call upon God. Call upon love, peace, protection. And I will also say this: don't push yourself so far out of your comfort zone that you're in the danger zone. I understand that. So this is something that I had trouble with in the past. But oftentimes when we're moving, making a huge change, there's lots of anxieties that come up inside the psyche. Sorry, I just have an itch on my arm. I need to take care of this. There's often like lots of anxieties and stuff that can come up in the mind when we're in the midst of a change. I'm gonna get rid of this fly. No, he's hiding. That can paralyze us, and they ask us to be still, to slow down, to breathe, to feel. They ask us to take our time, to shut out the noise, to come back to our center. And if that's what you're going through right now, then, you know, don't isolate the words that I'm saying and think, oh, I need to do that. I need to force myself to do what I need to do. This is not about forcing. This is about meeting yourself where you're at and walking forward in faith, even if that means doing nothing, like I was saying. Even if that means slowing down, you know? I cannot stress that enough. It's so important to honor your nervous system and your capacity and where you're at. And you don't need to be perfect. You don't need to look like all these other, you know, boss business people, entrepreneurs, you know, constantly taking action every day, working every hour of every day, you know, busy, successful, happy, energetic. Like, that's a projection. That's somebody else's life. It's not your life. It's not your path. It's not what you're supposed to do. What you're supposed to do is to honor who you are and to give yourself exactly what you need for your gifts to shine. And it's true, we live in a world where we are tasked with survival, and sometimes we just simply don't have the space during some moments in our life to dedicate our energy to making progress on our dream goals. Sometimes we need to sit down with a calculator and figure out how to pay the bills, or, you know, do the mundane, chop wood, carry water, carry whatever. But that doesn't mean that it's hopeless. It doesn't mean that you're not going to get anywhere. It just means that maybe you're on a different timeline than, you know, that person you're following on Instagram. You know what I mean? So I really, really, really hope that this gives you inspiration as Mr. Fly comes and says hello as well. And I'm going to leave this here. If you want to work with me personally, you want some guidance, insight, I do offer one-on-one tarot readings, psychic intuitive readings, with or without cards. I also do intuitive interpretive body art scans, which is like a borderline medical intuitive scan. You can read more info on that. I'm not a medical professional. It's just a form of intuitive reading where I scan your energy field, your body, and I interpret what I see, and I share based off my experience, my knowledge, what I see, and so on. And I'm also, if you're watching this before June 16th, come join us. Check the link in my description of this video for my event called Rocky Transitions that I'm hosting online. It's going to be a space for us to parse apart our process as we are reconfiguring our identities, while going through change, while becoming the person that we want to become, whether it's leaving something behind or entering something new, or anywhere in between. It's a space to process what we're experiencing and to create myth, to create story, to find the common archetypes, the common threads between our stories and, you know, others, so we can see that we are connected. We can create meaning out of this transition, and find community support. So if that appeals to you, check the link in my description. Go RSVP. I'm having 2-for-1 special discounted tickets if you want to bring a friend or a loved one. And look out for a psychic and intuitive cultivation workshop. I would love to host a workshop for people who both want to cultivate psychic and intuitive abilities, and specifically for people who want to recover from emotional manipulation and learn intuitive cultivation skills to help them recover their sense of self-trust, peace, belief, because that is a huge portion of my story of how I have grown as an intuitive, as a psychic, and how I've recovered from emotional manipulation. You know, growing my intuition was one of the most helpful things that I've ever done, because it was the one thing unconditionally, constantly there inside of me to validate my reality, to reflect the truth back to me without needing external validation. Trusting your intuition, trusting your nervous system, trusting your felt sense. It helps save so much time and energy. It helps prevent you from getting in the wrong relationships, or, you know, finding yourself too deep in opportunities that weren't actually meant for you in the first place. So if that appeals to you, stay tuned. I will post about that, and I'm probably going to make the Eventbrite tonight. So with that, sending you so much love. Comment, like, subscribe, share the video if it helped you, help my algorithm, you know, help this video reach more people.